You sign the contract, you celebrate the decision to go solar, and then the reality sets in. Your roof stays empty. Days turn into weeks. The installation crew is nowhere to be found. For many homeowners, this is the exact moment anxiety spikes, and they start wondering if their project is stalled or entirely forgotten. The truth is, the project is likely moving at full speed. The work is just happening inside city planning offices and utility company portals, rather than in your front yard. This diagram compares the two versions of a solar project. On the left is the simplified pitch you often see in marketing: sign, install, save. On the right is the necessary, multi-stage, realistic timeline that actually gets a system built legally. Look at where the invisible hours are spent. Before a single panel is bolted down, a rigorous cycle of site design, local permit submission, municipal building review, and utility interconnection planning must happen. Understanding this administrative roadmap upfront turns weeks of bureaucratic silence into a predictable, highly manageable schedule. A solar array adds hundreds of pounds of hardware to your roof and introduces high-voltage current into your home. Local building authorities must verify your roof framing can handle that dead weight and confirm your main electrical panel has the capacity to safely process the backfed power. An approved permit creates a permanent paper trail proving the installation was vetted. That documentation protects your property value when you decide to sell the home or if you ever need to file an insurance claim after a storm. Having the panels physically on the roof does not mean you are cleared to flip the switch. Physical installation is just one checkpoint in a longer legal sequence. The permitting phase in Dayton is a rigorous safety checkpoint, protecting your most valuable asset, not an arbitrary delay tactic. The biggest source of confusion in Dayton is the approval structure itself. You do not get a single, universal green light to build. You need clearance from two completely separate authorities. This flowchart illustrates the dual-track reality. The top track represents the municipal path, entirely managed by the City of Dayton. The city reviews your project strictly for building code compliance. They want to ensure the roof attachments are secure and the electrical wiring poses no fire risk. While the city evaluates the house, AES Ohio runs a completely separate evaluation on the bottom track. This is the interconnection process. The utility conducts a technical review to confirm your system can safely join the local power grid without destabilizing their network. You must secure both of these approvals independently before the system produces a single watt of usable power. You can sail through your city building inspection with perfect marks, but if the utility track was neglected during the design phase, your system will sit deactivated indefinitely. Ignoring this dual-track requirement is the primary reason post-installation timelines suddenly derail. Surviving both of those review tracks starts long before any applications are actually filed. Your installation team must audit your roof to ensure it is structurally sound. If the shingles are near the end of their lifespan or the decking shows signs of rot, the permit package stops there. The same level of scrutiny applies to your main electrical panel. An engineer must calculate your existing load to determine if the home requires a panel upgrade or reconfigured breakers to handle the new solar connection. Performing these structural and electrical audits up front extends the initial design window, but it results in a mathematically precise permit application. Skipping this prep work forces the installation crew to discover rotted framing or undersized breakers while they are on your roof. That leads to instantly rejected permits, stalled progress, and heavy change order fees. Time spent measuring accurately in the beginning is a direct investment against devastating municipal rejections later. Even with a flawless initial audit, city reviewers frequently issue correction requests after you submit the plans. This is part of the normal rhythm of construction. A correction usually means the city needs a clearer calculation on a drawing or a specific safety label added to the design. It is a request for clarity, not a project failure. Once the physical installation finishes, the city sends a field inspector to verify that the bolts and wires exactly match the paperwork they approved. Sometimes a system fails that initial field inspection. If a conduit is routed slightly differently than the plan shows, the inspector flags it. The crew corrects the minor field issue, reschedules, and passes the reinspection. A highly organized installer takes on the entire burden of this phase. They revise the documents, handle the city communications, and manage the inspector schedules rapidly. These correction loops add minor bumps to the calendar, but they guarantee the hardware on your home is strictly compliant and safe for the next 25 years. Looking at all these municipal tracks and inspection steps, you might be dreading the sheer volume of paperwork. This responsibility matrix breaks down exactly who handles what. The professional you hire carries almost the entire administrative load. They handle the system design, file the city submissions, coordinate with AES, respond to structural corrections, and wait on site for the inspectors. Your actual required inputs are minimal. Disclose your property history honestly, secure clearance from your HOA if you have one, and sign the authorization forms promptly. If you want a hands-off experience, your primary job is securing an installer who explicitly promises to own the heavy lifting in that middle column. If you want to proactively speed up the process, gather your recent roof repair receipts and HOA architectural rules before the first meeting to streamline the design phase. The complexity of if you hire a disorganized contractor who pushes their administrative work onto your plate. Experiencing a predictable, well-communicated solar installation is entirely a matter of choosing the right contractor. Discount installers routinely outsource their back-office permitting to third parties. When city delays inevitably happen, the communication breaks down, and you are left waiting without answers. A premium local installer treats Dayton code compliance and utility coordination as core parts of their service, building these processes into their daily workflow. Do not let the prospect of municipal paperwork stop you from securing energy independence for your home. Contact Solar Panels Dayton to schedule a comprehensive site assessment. Start your project with a team that delivers a professionally managed, entirely transparent timeline from the first signature to the final switch.